I want to thank President Donald Trump for cutting off funding to the World Health Organization. I'm very happy. He's doing this. If there is one there are a bunch of people who deserve blame for coronavirus, and I still think it's deliberate. But if it's not deliberate, they're either completely incompetent or stupid. But I still think it's deliberate. Just like I think for anybody who's hemophiliac, one of the worst crimes that government ever did was allow American pharmaceutical companies to put tainted blood plasma in factor 8, which caused many hemophiliacs to get AIDS and HIV. That was a huge scandal. Many died from it. And I call it murder. And this is one of the other great scandals, evils that the government did. The World Health Organization is one of the biggest culprits of what we are going through right now. And then they smile and grin and give us suggestions like as if they're doing us a favor. And this video is brought to you by One Touch Barbers. If you are in Markham, great place. The guy who owns that barbershop is a friend of mine, great guy. He does my hair. I don't go up there anymore, but I did get this shirt. It's a good shirt, so just thought I'd get that out. He cuts my hair. I don't say do my hair. I shouldn't say that's what girls do their hair. Guys get their hair cut. But anyway, Donald Trump cut the funding for World Health Organization. They first suggested to us that we should not close the border, or that we should not stop people from China coming back to the West. Shouldn't do it. It would be bad for the economy. How dare you even think like that? I mean, that was the first response that these people made with coronavirus. I was first telling people that we need to close the border to China. It's as simple as that. And then that's it. Let them fix their problem like they say they have done now. And then it's done, because China was playing mind games. They were locking up their doctors who were trying to expose the truth about the coronavirus. People who were trying to say that this is a serious thing, and China was censoring them. They were censoring them. This is the timeline of coronavirus. Okay? Because there are a bunch of idiots out there who don't know what's going on, and they want to try and lecture people like you and me about how we should protect ourselves and protect society. Bullshit! You have nothing to lecture me on. You're just as dumb and stupid as all the other people who caused this to happen in the first place. In fact, I was out all day today. All day. I will never quarantine. Never. And if this thing doesn't solve itself very soon, I've already said we're going to protest. But the first timeline, when people began to get aware of coronavirus, they said, shut up! No, shut up! Okay? Stop criticizing China. It's racist to criticize China. It's racist to criticize China. That's what they said. It is racist to criticize China. In fact, and that's what the World Health Organization was saying. That's what this Prime Minister, Justin the tack-headed, tar-faced, swift-foot, Baghdadi Trudeau, he said that. Mayor of Toronto said that. Everybody was saying that. People in the establishment. Trump didn't say that. The World Health Organization said China has done nothing wrong. And then now we hear that it's because they have these dirty, disgusting... It could still be a lab-created thing. I think it could be created in a lab, but we're going to go through the official timeline, okay? We're going to humor them. They have these dirty shops full of wolves and bears and bats and monkeys and snakes and fish that you can just pick out of a tank, out of a cage, like a zoo. It's like you could go to the zoo and you can pick out an animal and they'll cook it there, or they'll kill it, chop off its head and take it home. That animal has been It's not a zoo, though. They're in a closed cage, locked close, tight, next to another animal that they're not used to, which is sick, and, which is defecating and urinating all over the place. It goes into their cage, they drink it up, they eat it up, they get sick with diseases and all this stuff. The Chinaman eats it, and then he gets sick. And then doctors were saying, this is what's happening, this is why it's happening, we need to stop this from spreading. China said, shut up, there's no problem. And then it spreads. Spreads to America, spreads to Canada, spreads to Europe. You had an Italian mayor who I think needs to be strung up and hanged from a tree. The mayor of Florence or Naples who said, hug a Chinese man or hug people. I don't know if anybody remember. That's what he said before all of this chaos happened. Italy becomes one of the worst places when it comes to coronavirus. And now look at where we are today. And now these people are saying, before they were saying we shouldn't close the border to China. Well, they closed the border to China a little too late, but then they also closed the border to America, they closed the border to Europe, they closed it everywhere. Now all our freedoms have been taken away. We're all being forced to shut down here when I still say that more people can die on the freeway, on QEW, on 401. You can die on 401 between Warren and Victoria Park Avenue. It's more likely that's going to happen than you dying of coronavirus. Most people who get coronavirus survive. 99% of the people, most people, it's close to 99%, it's close to 100% of the people who get it survive it. But the media wants to keep us in a state of fear, where I was saying just close the border and you won't have this problem. Nobody wanted to listen to us. And now look at where we are now. We're being forced to shut down, hunker down like caged animals. When if we had just closed the border to China in the first place, I mean, I still think that this whole coronavirus is blown way out of proportion. I really do think it is. I do think it's dangerous, it can kill, but most people who get it will pass. You hear stories about people who are 101 years old, they catch it and they survive. People will die. You can die on the highway. Are we going to not drive anymore? The fact of the matter is, if you go out your front door, there's a good chance you can die. The moment you step foot off of your property, the likelihood of you dying, even if it's by lightning, goes way up. You can even die inside your house. Your son could kill you, or your dog could kill you, or you can burn yourself and burn down your house. You can get electrocuted, all sorts of stuff. That's just the thing. And people say, well, it's coronavirus, though. We need to protect ourselves from it. No. 99%, most people who get it survive. Even the people with pre-existing conditions, bad health, most of them even survive it. It's not pleasant. But, those guys now, they can quarantine themselves if they like. But for this thing to have affected us in this way, and then now you're telling me I have to listen to the experts? Why should I listen to any experts? The experts have been wrong constantly. But President Trump, who everybody likes to attack, has been right constantly. He was right to close the border with China. Everyone else was saying it's wrong. And then he said, many of them said, don't close the border with China. It's not, you don't have to do it. Now look at us. So they've been wrong consistently. Wrong. There was even a percentage of people who would die from this. They were wrong with that too. So why should I listen to these people who have been wrong, but Trump, who's been right, and everybody keeps following, I can't listen to him. So yes, I say cut funding from the World Health Organization. 100%. 100%. And all the people who said, don't close the border with China and all this stuff, they should be arrested, I think. I'm very glad that this has happened. And, you tell me, I have to listen to science, I have to listen to the experts, I have to do all this sort of stuff. No, I don't. I've lost faith in the experts. They have been wrong with this, with everything about this. Everything. Look at Trudeau. He's one of the people who said don't close off the border with China. Now he did it. He said don't close off Roxham Road. Now he's done it. People like me were saying do all this stuff. So I'm not listening to the experts anymore. I'm done. But let's talk about my planned protests. I plan to protest this. I want to wait a little bit because I'm in Canada, and most Canadians, as usual, they don't know anything about the world. Canadians are one of the only people who don't know anything about the world. They really don't. And I'm not talking about all Canadians. I'm talking about, most of the Canadians who don't know anything about the world reside in the big cities. Unfortunately, where I am. Many of them have even been begging. You see in the media, who knows? Maybe the media is blowing it out of proportion. But many of them are saying, you close it for up until September. Let's close it for the rest of the year. Close everything down. Well, those are some extreme cases, and I still urge people to stock up on arms, guns, and stuff, because many of these fearmongers are getting a bit too bold, and you want to keep yourself prepared in case they try anything stupid, like try to, harass you for enjoying the good weather, building your immune system outside. These zombies, they can zombify themselves and their children. They're not going to zombify me and you because you're a patriot who watches Arana Nation. But I still want to stick with July, maybe June. The reason I'm not saying May is because many people still haven't awoken. But I do support people who decide that they want to make protests in May. I will support you. I'll support you if you want to make a protest now. I mean, this thing has gone on for far too long. And the way I would do it, the way I plan on doing it, is going to like a beach. Maybe the beach in Toronto, because, they're trying to chase people off the beach, chase people off the park, things like that. Go there in a group. We'll go somewhere in public, in a group, converse. We'll have signs that say, reopen Canada and don't take our rights, and I'd rather be free and in danger than safe and a slave, things like that. And then the cops will come try to chase us away and tell us to go back to our homes, and we'll say no. And if they try to force us, we fight back. That's how I plan on doing it. I may do it in the middle of May. I know May Day is a very sexy day to stand up against authority, but I may do it in the middle of May. And we keep doing things like that. We'll get arrested, like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. We get out of jail and we do it again. Go to a public place, gather in many groups with signs. Hashtag reopen Canada. I'd rather be in danger and free than safe and a slave, and no quarantine for me, or this thing has gone on for too long. Cops come back, try to take us away. We fight back. It'll appear on the news. That'll definitely go on the news. And I plan on fighting back. I know a lot of you guys say, well, the cops, we have to be good with the cops. Yes, the cops are doing their job, but they're doing the job for bad masters. They're doing their job for bad masters, and the more we do this, and the longer this whole thing plays out, the more Canadians and the more people around the world say, you know what, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is ridiculous. Are we expected to just surrender our freedoms away forever? Over an illness that most people who get it survive from? I mean, people are going to die. It's a fact of life. But, I mean, people will die on the road. People will die on the bus. People will die getting mugged walking down the street. Does that mean we have to just hunker down in our houses forever? No. And these experts say, well, that's the best way to prevent coronavirus. These experts are also the same people who said that it's racist to close down China, and we shouldn't blame the Chinese wet markets for coronavirus. And I still think it was created in a lab, and these people will say that's ridiculous, but their track record of being right is almost none. So why should I listen to them? Why should I listen to them? Just like the experts were wrong about Saddam Hussein having weapons of mass destruction. And I think they were wrong about 9/11 too. These experts, the media, the government, the deep state, the leftists, they're always wrong. So I have lost faith in them. But Trump, who everyone loves to hate, well, few people, just a small group of crazy idiots out there, he's mostly been proven right on almost everything. And the World Health Organization, which put us in this mess in the first place, they're being punished now, and I agree. So this is how we're going to do this. In May Day, that's why everybody's saying May 1st, May Day. I will create a petition. A petition to reopen Canada and give us back our freedoms. That's how I want to start everything. And you'll sign it, everybody will sign it, it'll gain a lot of signatures, provided that it's not taken down. And by June, or even by the middle of May, close to the end of May, beginning of June, close to July, leading up to July, between the middle of May and July, if coronavirus, this whole thing has not been dealt with, and we're still being forced not to go anywhere, everything is forced to be closed, we're not allowed to work, we're just supposed to rely on our government for our financial well-being, we start protesting. And I mean it. We're going to start going to public places in groups, like a protest. We're going to gather peacefully, quietly, have conversation, have, food and, drinks and music, and we'll have signs, all that sort of stuff. We're going to get the cops' attention. We're going to get the attention of the police. They'll come over. They'll tell us, "You are not allowed to gather. Don't you know what's good for you? Now you get back in your house like good slaves and you stay there." And we'll say, "No. No." Like Martin Luther King, no. Like Gandhi, no. Like Malcolm X, no. Like Nelson Mandela, no. 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 Toronto Police Service, no. Durham Police Service, no. OPP, no. RCMP, no. No. No, 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 no. Then they'll try to arrest us or fine us. They'll fine us first. We take the ticket, we rip it up, throw it away. We'll throw it in the garbage. We don't want to litter. We love our earth. We'll throw it in the garbage. We'll rip it up, throw it away. We'll have this all on video too. Then they try to arrest us. We fight back. We'll fight back. Not fight as in beat him, punch him. We'll just resist. We'll resist. We'll all gather and resist. And then it'll be a big spectacle go up on the news. I'm doing this. I am serious. I am serious. At this point, really, I have nothing else to lose. I don't have a job now. They've taken away my job. You've taken away my means of living. I mean, you're trying to take away my channel. Sooner or later, I'm going to have nothing else to lose. And that's when I become dangerous. So, nothing, you come beat me. I'll go to jail, fine. Take me out, I'll do it all over again, and it'll just repeat. And we get worse. And we'll get worse. And we'll get worse. And sooner or later, they're going to come at us, and try to do it. Then we'll fight back even more. Maybe we'll start to bring weapons with us. Bats, sticks, this and that. And then sooner or later, this whole thing, other people will hear about what we're doing and say, "I admire the way these people are trying to stand up for their rights. And I agree with them. This thing has gone on for way too long." And this virus doesn't kill all these people. I admire them. I'm tired of sitting here in my room. I'm tired of being pushed around by my government. I'm tired of being pushed around by people who have been proven wrong over and over and over again. And we will keep on giving them the facts. We will keep on telling them the World Health Organization told us never closed down the border with China, never do have travel restrictions, hug a Chinese, all this sort of stuff like that. And I'm not saying that we should have snubbed Chinese people. That's stupid. But, you know, all that sort of stuff that they're now backtracking on, they've been wrong this whole time. We're going to keep harping on that message. And then sooner or later, the public is going to say, yeah, I agree with those freedom fighters. I'll join them. And we'll see them doing it in California, New York City, Vancouver, Montreal, and then it may go over slowly into Europe, London, Paris, Berlin, Australia. We'll spread it around. It'll be a new global revolution. And I plan on leading it. So that is the plan, Patriots. I am not blowing sunshine up your ass. Come May 1st, it starts with a petition. And then over time, the middle of May, the end of May, you know, around June, July, that is when we start to do the protest. I promise you, we're going to do this. I'm doing it. Because I've got nothing else to lose. And I know a lot of you guys don't either. You know, you see the New World Order, the deep state thought when they took everything from us, we'd just be mealy-mouthed and submissive. But they miscalculated big time. They forgot to know that when human beings have all their toys taken away, they know that they have nothing else to lose and they get dangerous. So be prepared. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. This isn't easy what I'm asking of us. It's not easy. Many of us will be arrested and we may get hurt. But come on. We're the ancestors of George Washington. We're the ancestors of the people of the French Revolution. We're the ancestors of Nelson Mandela. We're the ancestors of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Gandhi, all these people. We're their ancestors. I mean, come on. We have to. Freedom isn't free. You can either sit on your ass and take orders from your government, line up to go get one stick of cheese at the supermarket every day of your life for the rest of your life, be forced to wear your mask outside for the rest of your life, and be put in a submissive state for the rest of your life, or you can fight, and I plan on fighting. This is the Arana Nation.